I think this is a cool little town. But let's get the recording started so folks will have everything in place for us, and we'll do that soon. All right, we're getting the recording going. I'm Shane Snipes, and you're watching Sustainable 1000 TV and Radio. I'm here in Madison, not Madison, I'll be there tomorrow, yes. In Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And Eau Claire is a small town, it seems, but not too small.
We've hit about 93,000 with the new census.
Right. And then, do you change all your signs, the little green signs? Because I came here into, what's the town that you're in right now? This is...
Altoona.
Yeah, Altoona, which I've heard of, which is kind of funny. It's probably been in some movie or something that I was watching. And Altoona has like 6,000 people, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like a little suburb of Eau Claire.
Yeah, yeah. So the metro Eau Claire area includes, what do you think in terms of size?
The city of Eau Claire?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe
metro region.
60,000.
Uh-huh.
And then the county is 93,000.
And you are focused on the county.
Yes.
Yeah.
County.
So what's sort of the method that you use for kind of going from being here in Eau Claire to out into areas where it doesn't have as much of a, I won't say urban, but city feel?
Mm-hmm.
How do you address that in terms of your own education projects?
Well, we try to be inclusive in everything we do, so we try to get to the city and the county folks, rural, urban, low income, all income, race, diversity, all that. So we are always trying to use different avenues of just advertising what we do. And so we get a wide diversity of people from the city and the rural areas too, using our services. So
yeah. And does it feel like certain groups, and we'll get to some broader sustainability questions too, because I want to make sure we cover those as well as these specific things. And as I talk to you, Erin, and I'm talking again with Erin LaFaive, she's here with Eau Claire County. I want to say Eau Claire every time it comes to mind. I want to say Eau Claire, but the Eau Claire County, and we're chatting about sustainability in relationship to rural issues. Do you think there's a difference?
There is a difference. It seems like a lot of people in the rural areas are already doing some of the things that the people in the city want to be doing. For example, composting. Some of the people in the city are just starting to get on board with composting. What is that? How do I do that? And people out in the country, as we say here, we'll say we're from the country, they're already doing those things, been doing it for a long time.
And if I was in North Carolina, I'd be like, the country? Are you from the country? Yeah, I'm from the country. For sure. That's my North Carolina accent coming out. Although my mother would be like, that's not North Carolina. It's probably some hybrid I've created. Tell me a little bit about, I have a bunch of Facebook questions about this. Diana from Wisconsin has a question. She says, it seems like rural people have a good understanding, but they still litter like crazy. Why is it that they litter like crazy?
That's a good question. I wonder sometimes if they do that because they're so used to in the country, if you litter, it just blows away, right? And it's gone. And you don't really think about what you're doing. So within the city, if you do that, it really hangs out, right? It hangs out on fences and it just gets caught everywhere. So we see it a little bit more. And maybe people in country, they see things break down a little bit faster. So they'll think, well, this will just break down. It's no big deal.
Right.
But if you're in the city, that's just going to go in your waterways and get washed down, the drain of the sewer system, and things like that. So maybe they have a different concept of where their garbage is going.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think that there's an education process to get that understood, or how can we do that?
That's a good question too. The other thing I think is maybe there's some kind of attitudes of entitlement. Well, this is my land. I get to do what I want with it. It's no big deal.
Right.
But really, even if it is your land, shouldn't you want to keep it clean and not contaminated with garbage and things like that? So perhaps there's the education component comes along with letting people who litter know that, yes, it may go away, but it's going somewhere, and it doesn't maybe decompose as fast as you think it's going to decompose.
Right. And if it's plastic, it'll be around for a few millennia. So there you go.
Yeah.
We'll be dealing with that. And people think even when like pieces of plastic get dry and brittle, they think that, oh, it's breaking down, it's decomposing. And it's really not. It's just breaking down into smaller pieces of plastic, still the plastic. And a lot of plastic leach out other chemicals too, a lot of plastics do, which is really bad for our drinking water. And you guys know or may have heard of this big ocean island.
Yes.
Now there are two.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's another big island of plastic out in the ocean. I've heard it's about the size of some huge island country. I can't remember which one.
Like Maryland or Rhode Island or
right,
things like that.
Yeah, well, just in case we wanted to cover Rhode Island with all the trash, we could just take all that trash out. And I've heard a bunch of people who've gone out to the site as oceanographers actually talk about it's these little pieces of plastic too. It's not like it's a gigantic island that you can stand on. It's just literally like all this trash is swirling together, and it's not necessarily as dense as you think, because like we were talking about before, the plastic breaks down some.
And that's what I thought too. I was trying to go on the internet and look for pictures of this island, but it's not like that. I found out it's just those little pieces, and that's why you can't just. Some people say, why don't we just go grab it and pick it up? Well, I can't really do that.
Right. What they do, a lot of the research vessels, is they troll along with a net for like a quarter of a mile, and then they'll pull up, and it'll just be like plastic bottles and all these things that we throw away that we think are just going to disappear.
And here in this area, we're just so blessed to have clean water. A lot of fresh water is here in the Great Lakes region, and I think we take it for granted here for sure. People use water like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, and then as it trickles down, because it goes from north to south, through the river system, and even the aquifer system sometimes flows that way too. But it's interesting to see like that migration of the water and how it gets more and more dirty as it progresses along.
Yeah, we're just oblivious, I think, to what's going on with water issues down further. And when I say like the general public, I think
right.
A lot of researchers up here know that. But
yeah. And what do you sort of see as the strategy to get people educated about horticulture first off? And what's your overall goal as part of this project for the Extension Office?
Our goal is to get people within their own homes to try these simple or not simple techniques of being more sustainable. And we've kind of adopted the Empowerment Institute's workbook, the Green Living Handbook. And it helps people go through and try new things. For example, just composting or using cloth bags. And you get in groups. Let's say you get some people in your neighborhood together, and each time you get together, which is about 6 times, you go through a new chapter. So garbage is one of them. And you each try different things in your own home, come back a couple weeks later and say what worked for you, what didn't, and you just brainstorm. Because every area is different, everybody's living situation is different. We want people to try that, and they'll find that some of these things are really easy. The other thing we think will happen when people try these activities is they'll find out some of them take a long time to change over their behavior. So within our county, the county and the city are trying to be more sustainable. They're really getting on board with it. And some people think it should happen faster than what it is. And I think these activities that they do kind of show them, hey, some of them take a little while to turn over. So it's kind of a twofold goal with this Green Living Handbook. There's one called Journey Through the Planet for youngsters too. So trying to get the youngsters on board.
Yeah. No, I love that there are actually workbooks to do this, and it's so nice to have something like that as a reference guide for people. Because, everyone wants to make it a 1, 2, 3 ABC step process. Because that's the only way we understand things. The only way I understand things. I'll talk about myself, not about you, because I know you guys understand everything. So that's it for this segment. We'll continue in just a moment. I want to get this recorded and out to YouTube so we can continue to grow our amazing sustainable audience. I'm Shane Snipes, and this is my guest, my wonderful, beautiful guest from the Extension Office here in Eau Claire County for the University of Wisconsin. I love when I try to do a fake accent from other places. People who are from here must just be like,
it's not working.
Please don't do that, please. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary for you to do that. Erin LaFaive is here. and she's going to tell me where folks should go to find more information out about what you're doing. Do you know the website off the top of your head?
I don't know it. You can use a search engine and just look up Eau Claire UW extension and just put UWEX, and that should pop up, and you'll find my information as well on that website.
Awesome. Yeah, she's doing some great stuff here, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that, and we'll continue this talk in just a moment.